Okay, so good. All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, and happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all had nice holidays and spending with family and doing stuff. You know, we're gonna be kicking off the new year together today. So thanks for calling in. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute everybody, so that way we can get a good recording. And but if you want to unmute yourself, there's buttons on the screen to do that. If you're calling in via the computer, if you're calling in from your phone, simply hit *6 on your keypad. That will take you off mute. And you know, don't forget, this is I want this to be interactive. Yeah, hold on one second. Something wrong? Okay. Let's see. All right, we got a little challenge here. All right, good. So, for those of you, hang on one second. We have a little technical challenge here. Just trying to fix it. All right. Now, the Facebook, the camera's not coming in pretty good. But anyway, all right, so let's, those of you that are calling for the first time, I want to welcome you. I know a bunch of you are calling in from all over the world, and thanks for that. Now, while we're doing this, I want you to keep in mind, part of the reason for the call is to go over some strategies and ideas for the new year. And I'm going to go through the magazine on the website. Those of you that have the advantage of calling in via your computer, you get to see what I'm actually doing. But, you know, the real thing I like to use these calls for is, you know, we just had a webinar, I think it was last week, yes. And it was open to everybody. And so the webinar is, you know, it's kind of sit and listen. But these are really, I want these to really be coaching calls, which means that you need to bring it to the call. You know, you need to think about what is it that you're scared about or having challenges with. I promise you, don't think that your question is going to be unique. There's probably somebody else on the call that has a similar feeling or challenge. So don't be shy, okay? And let's see, and I'm just dealing, okay, good. This is not, hang on one second, gang. We're just, the Facebook Live is not cooperating with me. All right, so now, with that said, so part of what we're going to be doing is I'm going to go over the magazine for this month, and I'm also going to open up the call to you guys for coaching questions. And in addition to that, we're going to go through some slides. I pulled some slides from the webinar I did last week about how to start off the new year strong. Now, I do want to tell you guys something that we did that we're very proud of, and then I'm going to get started here. The part of the membership of the Power Program, you know, you're paying $27 a month. Now, 10% of your membership goes into our charity, America's Hope for America's Children. And I posted something on Facebook for Christmas, the holidays. We just made a donation of $5,000 on your behalf that's coming from your membership to the Long Island Abuse Center. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. I posted a video of us giving this check to the organization Long Island that deals with, you know, child abuse, spousal abuse. And so that's all because of you being a Power Agent member. So I want to thank you for doing that and being a part of it. All right, so with that said, here's what I want to do is I want to jump to, let me hit escape here. Hang on one second. I got to figure out how to do this. There we go. That's our slide. So those of you that have questions, you just hit *6 at any point. Don't ask me questions about the website and about your password and login. Just contact my office for that. Dawn Hoffheimer, are you on the call? Dawn, are you on the call? Dawn, if you are, you hit *6 on your keypad.
Yep.
And just to,
yes.
there you,
hi, good morning, Darryl.
Good morning, Dawn.
Sorry.
How are you?
Good morning.
I just want to make sure
I'm well, thank you.
Good. I just want to make sure you're on the call. I'm going to address the email that you sent me this morning. But let me first go through the magazine that I want to show everybody, okay? So you stand by.
Okay, sure.
Okay? All right,
absolutely.
Great. All right, gang. So let me see here. I'm just trying to clean up my screen. I don't know if, I'm sorry, gang. We're just having some, I'm just being lame this morning. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the first of the year. I'm trying to get rid of this screenshot here. All right, maybe that's it. Yeah. Okay. No. All right. Like this. Nope. Give me 1 second, gang. Sorry. Okay, good. We're good. So those of you that are looking at the screen, I just want to tell you about the magazine. Those of you that are not looking at your screen, just make mental notes about what we're going to cover. This month we interviewed a great agent. Actually, she's from Brooklyn, New York, and her name's Gina D'Onofrio. Yeah, I hurt my tongue with that. So she gives some great ideas. We transcribed it for you in the magazine this month. But let me jump to the visuals that I want to show you. In the magazine, around page 21 and 22, there's a company on page 22. What they do, and the website is there in the magazine, but what they do is they really create these postcards and mailings for investors, people that want to buy real estate. But I'm going to tell you something. The concept of these letters, they're like full, big yellow postcards. Some of you might have seen them in your own mailbox. They'll customize whatever you put on it. So if you're going to start doing any mailings this year, which, by the way, I want to keep something in mind. Whenever you do prospecting and do mailings, it's important that that you be consistent with it, that you actually mail out on a regular basis. One mailing is not productive. That's just going to cost you money. Studies show in direct marketing that people need to see the same message 4 to 6 times before they'll take any kind of action. So if you do monthly mailings, you're looking at an investment of at least 6 months. So if you're not willing or able to do that kind of commitment, then you should not start doing mailings. But this company, I want you to check it out because it would be such a unique concept for a real estate agent to use this company on page 22, not to buy real estate. Take their look, take their fonts, check it out, and you customize the postcard, perhaps saying that you have buyers in this market, this is a great time of year, if you're thinking about buying or selling, free market analysis. And by the way, I always like not free market analysis, I like free neighborhood market report. Now, a neighborhood market report is the same as a free CMA, but I like that term better for 2 reasons. Number one, it says what it is. It's about the neighborhood, it's talking about the market. The second thing is other agents in your market, unless they're a power agent listening to me, they're probably not using that term, so that will make it seem unique to you, and therefore it'll get more activity. Now, on page 23, there's these 2 flyers, newsletter type things that you can send out too. You can customize it. Time to move up, it's 8.5 by 11. There's another one, what to expect when selling, which is actually a great flyer to send out to people that are FSBOs, right? And then we have on page, 25, I love this one. Welcome back, everybody. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, good. This is like, what do they say, ladies, when on a wedding and it rains? What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's good luck.
Yeah, it's good luck. So the fact that our first conference call of 2018 is doing this, having technical problems, it's a good sign. 2018. All right. All right, good. So here we go. Sorry, everybody. So let's go back to the magazine. All right, so let's pick up right where we started. Sorry about the technical glitch. We still have people calling in. Actually, let's give everybody 30 seconds. They're calling back in, so that way they don't miss out. Thanks, gang, for being patient. I think we have too many things going on. I'm sharing my screen. I'm doing an audio conference call. We're doing Facebook Live. I think it's just maybe too much stuff, too much technical stuff. Maybe we'll cancel one. So people are calling in. Let's just give everybody 2 minutes here. And, if we have to, we'll go over our time at 12 o'clock, which I'm fine with. I know some of you might have appointments, but we'll record it. We're recording this all these different ways, and so people can always watch it later on. But the real important thing is I want you guys to be able to ask questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the magazine, and then I'm going to open up the call to make sure that you're getting coached. And then at the end of the call, after that, then I'll go through some of my other slides that I want to share with you. And if you can't stay on past 12, you'll just watch the video of the slide piece. But all right, so we've still got a ton of people calling in, so let's just give it another 30 seconds. I can tell based on the attendance how many people were on the last before we lost everybody's call. All right, okay. All right, let's get started. Unmuted. Okay, so thanks, everybody. Sorry about that technical glitch. We're now picking up where we left off. So here's what I want to share with you about these flyers that we created for you. Will Zillow give you an accurate home values? Zillow is a good place to start if you want to get a general estimate of what your home is worth. Zillow estimates give you a property value range. So anyway, this is, and then it talks about the drawback. Zestimates are generated by a computer, not by a person. Anyway, I think we wrote this letter really good on page 25 to not knock Zillow, to acknowledge what they have, their strength, but to maybe point out the weakness, and their weakness is actually your strength. So I love page 25 for you. By the way, even if you don't use that as a mailing, if you read through what we created for you, it might help you to communicate that on a listing appointment. Also, when people say, this is how I got my price, was from Zillow, right? Then there's another technique on page 26 in the magazine. Now, page 27 goes through a business plan for 2018. Most of you should have already done your business plan by now, but just in case, I gave you this one. It's really intense. There's like several pages of questions asked, so you really have to sit down and take your time to fill this out if you choose to do so. If you don't want to do the whole business plan that we created, you'll see that there's certain nuggets in here that you might like. For example, there's the 3-month commitment sheet, as opposed to just setting a 12-month goal, just focusing on 3 months. And but let's jump through the rest of these slides, or the magazine, I mean. Now, on page 38, gang, there's what this agent did that I really liked. It said, attention realtors, please take one of these as, for your assistance in writing a contract. So what it is almost like a data sheet on one page. You know, what's the legal descriptions, exclusions, inclusions, earnest money wanted, preferred closing. There's a couple of great things about page 38. Number one, well, there's 3 things. Number one is it makes it easier for a selling agent to put a deal together on one of your listings. Number 2, it's a great thing to show a homeowner on a listing appointment. The third thing, it's actually great to have buyers actually remember that property, just like a feature sheet, but it's different, right? And as a matter of fact, on the back of that flyer, you could have the data and for the feature sheet about the property, the photo and description. Page 39 in the magazine this month, it has, you know, there's this old technique. I forgot who created it, but you'd actually create these little easel signs. You know, they're small. You can have them printed up at Vista Print. They're like 10 cards, a little bit bigger. On page 39, it shows examples. You know, this property's backyard is short fenced by 15. Make sure the cats stay outside. These are, please make sure you leave the door open, or pointing out some of the appliances. So there's some ideas that you can put these little signs to make it like a showcase of a new construction. On page 40, there's, I love this technique, and it's probably because I love children. This technique is a children's listing agreement. So let's say you've got a FSBO or a homeowner, you know, that they've got children. To get the children engaged in the process and to lessen the fear of making the move, there's this little children's listing agreement, you know, that the child promises to help. Like they're going to be your assistant realtor, and they're going to make the bed in the morning and pick up the toys and turn on the lights. What I love about this is if you're on a listing appointment with a FSBO, have the kids sign this one first, because if the kids sign the listing agreement for them, the parents are going to have to follow. All right, so that's that one. What else do we have here? Oh, on page 41, there's this great postcard that you can leave every time you show a listing. You can leave that or you can mail it. So I love the postcard on page 41. 42 is just an ad for you guys. Let's see what else we have. Mega's postcards. There's some other samples of postcards on page 43. 44 is just an agent created this little summary of utilities because buyers always want to know how much does it cost. Now, page 45, I love this one, how to prepare for a showing in 10 minutes or less. Now, this is good not only to give to one of your new listings, but it's also good as an icebreaker on a listing appointment with a FSBO, right? We're going into Valentine's month, and so this pizzeria, they did a coloring contest, and I gave you a sample of that if that's something you want to promote. By the way, gang, there is so much in this magazine. Just this month alone, you cannot, I'm going to say this really clear, you cannot implement everything that I gave you in this magazine. The magazines, I give you way, way more than I expect you to implement in a month. This is just how I've always been as a trainer, that I try, because some people, I want everybody to love at least something, right? So I'll give a smorgasbord of stuff. If you implement just one or two things, that's all you should work towards. I said to you guys last month, we're going to be taking these out of the magazine eventually and putting them on the website of the Power Program, so they'll always be there for you to download. Because the magazines, if you wanted to find something, you have to go through months of magazines to find something. So we're going to be doing that over the next 30, 60 days. Here's some great marketing letters that you can send out. I'm not going to go through all these. There's just a plethora of letters, from marketing letters and stuff. So anyway, that's this month's magazine. Do you guys have any questions about the magazine before I open it up to coaching calls? And I want to remind you, if you're calling in, hit *6 on your keypad to take yourself off mute. Does anybody have a question? I'm going to give it a second. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Darryl, can you show us how to find the magazine?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Now, because we're still online, I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to because the thing crashed. So if you can see can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go to the home page of the Power Program, and so if you're already logged in, so you have to be logged in because it's only for paying members, right? So if you click on monthly sessions at the top, oh, I hear a dog. Okay, and then you'll see January Power Agent Magazine with Gina. So if you were to click on this, I won't yet, but also this is the audio recording with Gina, and then you'll see December's Power Hour with Darryl. That's this call that I did last month. So this month we'll put this recording we'll put up there by the end of the week. So let me click on the magazine with Gina, and what's going to happen is you'll see a younger picture of me, and when you click on that, what will happen is what you should see on the screen right now. It's launching the PDF. This is a PDF. And because the magazine's so huge, it takes a minute for it to happen, so it's still loading. So there's the magazine. The magazine I was showing you was from my computer. This is actually from the Power Program website, okay? Now there's a way to download this. When you see the banner up at the top, there's a little arrow at the bottom right, and if you click on that, you'll be able to download it right onto your computer. Now I have a tip for you guys. People say, Darryl, how do you get this stuff out of PDF and be able to use it like in a Word document or something? One of the things I was going to show you guys later is there's this website called Fiverr, and if you're looking on my screen, you'll see it. It says fiverr.com, and this is really a great resource. We actually use this when we have something simple we want to do. You have your own account. If you're looking at my screen, you'll see my face up there. I got a message. I have somebody working on something for us. You can find anybody to do anything. So let's say you send somebody the PDF and said, hey, can you take these letters and turn it into a Word document for me? It'll cost you a few dollars to do that. It's very simple. There is another way to do it, which I'm not going to teach. It's not tech support. But if you actually are if you have Adobe on your computer, you can actually copy, if you'll see the screen, I'm doing something like that, you can actually copy the text and then paste it into a Word document. You'll still have some computer codes, you'll clean that up, but that's it. All right, did that answer your question? Hello? Please don't tell me I lost everybody. Are you still there, everybody?
I'm here.
Yes,
Okay.
the question was for everybody listening, just in case there were people who didn't know how to do it.
Oh, sweetie, thank you so much. Okay, great. That was very awesome of you. Okay, anybody else have any questions about the magazine before I go on?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to open the call to coaching questions. Before I do that, I'm going to start with Barbara Dixon. So, Barbara, are you still with us?
No, it's Dawn. This is my letter.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Darryl.
Dawn. It's Dawn. I apologize. That's the person you're mailing to. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel so retarded today. Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So, gang, Barbara sent me the coaching she wanted. She had this letter that she wanted to send out to her farm area in Lake Mark West, is the subdivision. She sent me the letter. I started to edit it, Dawn, and I stopped doing it because it would be too much, like you'd get confused. So what I did here, gang, if you'll see what's in red, like this is crossed out. So Dawn's letter started with, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dawn Hoffheimer, the Landmark Neighborhood Specialist for Marina. All right. You know, you don't need to introduce yourself in a letter because if they want to know who you are, they're going to look at the bottom of the letter, right? So, and you're taking up space. It's not catching their attention. So what I did here for you, Dawn, is I wrote here, there should be some kind of catchy headline, right? So dear Barbara, I have home buyers looking to buy in Landmark West. Or the other headline could be the real estate values are changing, and there's a typo there, are changing in Landmark West. So something that's going to something that's going to catch their attention. Hang on a second. Let me see. Something that's going to catch their attention to make them want to read more. Does that make sense, Dawn?
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
So then I killed your first paragraph. Then the next paragraph should say something as a full-time realtor who lives in Landmark West, I am passionate about blah, blah, blah. So say whatever you're passionate about. You know, you're passionate about the neighborhood. Okay. This is why I've had so much success in helping buyers and sellers move in and out of our community. I don't know if I've been helping your neighbors buy and sell homes at Landmark since 2014. I don't think that's necessary now. This over here, whether you're interested in buying and selling a home, tailoring needs, I'll consider resources. All right. So what you want to do is actually think when you write a letter, gang, you want to think about how you're motivating people to want to call you. So what we're doing here, or what I try to do here, is by saying, hey, listen, I've got buyers looking to buy in the marketplace. Or the values have changed. You know, that could be good or bad, and you can explain it in the letter. But the concept that you want to convey is, listen, I live in the neighborhood. That's huge. I know it better than anybody else. There's an influx of buyers coming in that I've been working with. If you know anybody who's thinking about, so this is where you got to fit this in here. Look, because let me show you what's, you know, some of this is too much. Like if I'm a homeowner, I don't care about this. You know, I have buyers looking to upgrade. That's good. Because of my many years and blah, blah, it's too much, right? If you have any questions, don't say I have any questions. I want you to say, if you know somebody that's thinking about selling, please give them my number. Or if you would like a neighborhood market report to find out what homes have been selling for in Landmark West, I'd be more than happy to provide that to you.
Okay.
So give them something of value, like the free CMA or a report, not just, hey, call me, you know, if you have any real estate needs, all right? So those are my edits for you. I'm going to save this for you, and I'll email it back to you, okay?
Okay, thanks, Darryl. And the other question I had, so what do you think about enclosing the subsequent page was actually real client testimonials who have bought or sold? Do you like that? Or?
Yeah, I like that. So your second page having the testimonials, I like it. What I would do is, whenever you use testimonials, it's always great if you can put on their contact phone number. And the reason why you put their contact phone number on is because, I almost put my cell number there. When you put their phone number there, it looks more authentic. It doesn't look like your mother just said that about you. It's almost like you're challenging the reader to say, hey, if you don't believe the testimonial, call the person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And chances are they're not going to call them. But it makes the testimonial real. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I should seek permission to put the number on from the person's whoever gave the testimonial. Otherwise, that probably could get you into. I mean, I don't know.
It won't get you into trouble, but I think they would. Yes, you should call Sue and say, hey, Sue, thanks for that testimonial. Do you mind if anybody has any questions, if they wanted to chat with you, that I give them your number? Would that be okay? Don't tell them, hey, Sue, I'm doing a mass mailing to 1,000 people, and I want to give them your phone number. Because you'll definitely get a no with that, okay?
Right. Okay.
All right, good. Did that help you, Dawn?
Yes. Yeah. The only other thing is, I had done a little research online, and I kept reading about this 8-week hit. Like everybody, it takes at least 6 to 8 weeks for someone to respond. So my thought was to send out the introduction letter with the testimonials, and then next week send out the neighborhood report. But you think it would be better to change the letter to reflect if you're interested in the report rather than just automatically sending it?
Here's what great question, Dawn. Gang, here's what I believe when it comes to doing a marketing campaign that's dealing with mailings. In my opinion, monthly mailings, number one, is the best, except for the first 2 months. The first 2 months, I would do every 2 weeks. And the reason why that is, Dawn, is because now you're starting to brand yourself with these people. And they get the first letter, then 2 weeks later, get another one, and another one. You can stop it after the third and then go to month, or if you want to do one more, you do 4. But so that, to me, whenever you're starting a mailing campaign, it's important to do it closer together in the beginning part. All right, that's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is I would be careful about giving them the neighborhood market report because now that's one less thing that they can actually call about. So I wouldn't. So, for example, what I might do is send them a rough estimate about properties that have sold in the last 6 months. That could be a mailing. That mailing should not have the prices on it. That mailing should have just the address of the properties that closed. And you can then in the letter you would say, if you'd like to know actual selling prices, and better yet, if you'd like to know the current value of your home, please contact me. I'm more than happy to get that to you. Okay?
Okay.
Every letter should give them a little bit of something, but want them to contact you to get the rest of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm going to show you something else that I have for you on the website. So right now I'm on Facebook. Oh, by the way, gang, for those of you looking at my screen, if you see the video on the screen, December 28th, that's the actual video where we gave the check and we interviewed Long Island against domestic violence, where we donated the $5,000 on your behalf. So that's there. But let me show you. We keep posting a lot of stuff for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I mean, not appreciate it, but I hope you like it. I hope it's helping you on Facebook. Let me see here where this is. So this is in our closed group, gang. Okay. In the closed group, now eventually I'm going to move this stuff onto, I don't even know if Facebook Live is still working, but anyway, we're going to move this onto the Power Program website. But for those of you that can see my screen, you're going to see like a ton of other flyers that I've uploaded for you. that you can use and mailings. Dawn, do you see your computer there?
Yes, I do.
Dawn, there's a plethora of mailings here for you, darling.
Okay.
You know, I'll just click on one. This is, and in the bottom right-hand corner, you can download this. Free market analysis. If you're thinking about selling, you just want to know the value of property, you put your contact information there. That's just one of those. But there is a plethora of flyers that I've given you that you can download and use. So make sure you check that out, okay?
I will, for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's open up the call. Who else has a question that you need coaching on, please? So hit *6 on your keypad one time. That'll take you off, and then I'll be able to hear you. Anybody? Nobody? If you're on the computer screen, I see some people. You can ask me a question, I think. Nobody? If not, I'll jump to my other part. Really? All right, warriors, huh? Okay. So, gang, let me go through what you need to do this year, and if you want to interrupt me, just hit *6, ask me a question. So, in 2018, and I did some of this at the webinar last week for those who were on, but focusing on your next level, I want to talk about what next level is. In 2018, what's going to drive you to do the things that you know you need to be doing is being committed to something bigger than your challenges, worries, and frustrations. You know, if you think about it, a lot of us, when we first got into real estate, we were pretty darn enthusiastic because we saw what was possible that real estate could be for us. And sometimes in managing our business, distractions, we can lose sight of what we're really committed to. Yeah, I'll give you, for instance, what just happened here. So this call, you know, we had some of the technical challenges 20 minutes into the call and even before the call. It would be really easy for me to get distracted by this and to take me off kilt and da-da-da-da. So how I dealt with, I'm just telling you this is how I did it, how I dealt with the technology hiccups without me getting really frustrated and like, oh, we can't do this. I had to get focused once again. What am I committed to with my students? What am I committed to on this call? Bring myself back to the commitment and away from the frustration. You cannot be committed to something bigger than your concerns and worries and be concerned and worried at the same time, if that makes sense. It's whenever we get in our head about fear, frustration, the thing we need to do is, okay, let me have my feelings, but not let my feelings have me. And how we do that is take the focus off of your thoughts and feelings and put it onto what you're committed to. Now, let me see. Somebody just asked me a question here. Shalanda, give me a second. I will address your question. Let me finish this point here. So what's your next level? I've got to tell you something. When I was celebrating New Year's this year, something interesting, I had an epiphany about something. I was at some family's house, and you know, we were in the living room, and the New York City, you know, we could see New York City, and I was thinking about these people. For those of you who don't know, it was really super cold. I think it was one of the coldest days, if not the coldest day in like 50 years or something. In New York City, people were there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're freezing. And I'm thinking to myself, why would people put themselves through this agony? You know, I'm in a nice warm house and watching the television. You know, it's better, you'd see the ball better on television than if you were in New York City, in Times Square. But here's the epiphany that I had. I was watching people around me in the house that I was at, and they were counting down, right? How we do that New Year's, you know, 10, 9, 8. And I'm looking at people's faces, and I'm looking at the television, I'm looking at this enthusiasm, and here's my epiphany. I'm like, why do we get so excited during that countdown to the New Year? And here's what I think. I think what happens while we're there's two things that happen. While we're counting down to midnight, we're excited because we know we can forgive our past for any mistakes that we made. It's almost like it's like wiping the board clean. It's through the counting down, the 10, the 9. It's like as we're doing that, we're making this commitment to letting go of all the challenges, worries, stress, mistakes that we've made in the past year. And the second thing that happens, it's during that countdown of 10, 9, 8, because we're letting go of our past and our concerns and our worries. It creates a true sense of possibility of what our future is going to be. It's in that countdown that I believe, really, for those of us who get passionate during that countdown, we're for the first time maybe standing in what real possibility feels like. That's not tied to the past, and anything could happen in the future. I mean, what an awesome friggin' feeling that is, right? Now, what if every morning that you woke up like it was New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day? What if you brought that same sense of possibility to your business? So part of what we need to do is keep letting go, keep letting go, keep letting go of the past, the frustrations, keep letting go of the mistakes, keep moving forward. You know, when you're driving your car, what's the biggest glass in there? Well, it's the front window. The smallest one is the rear view window, rear view mirror. Thank you. You can't drive a car moving forward staring at the rear view mirror, right? You check it, you see where you've been, but for the most part, the focus is out what's in front of you. All right, so that's the first thing I want to say to you. Now, Shalonda has a coaching question that she sent me in text. She said, how do you suggest reaching out to customers to get updated information? I've lost contact with some of my clients from about 15 years ago. I would really like to update my database and get more of that personal info. Well, wow, that's a great question, Shalonda. Here's what I would do. So if you've got a database of people you've lost touch with, you could do a mailing, but me personally, I would pick up the phone and call. You'd have to schedule it, right? You'd have to make a commitment, like you're going to the gym on certain days of the week at certain times. You've got to pick certain times, certain days. You're going to make these get reacquainted calls. And what I would do is I'd say, hey, Shalonda, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? Listen, I'm calling to apologize. You know, it seems, you know, we worked together years ago, and I lost touch with you, and so I made it part of my New Year's resolution 2018 to get in touch with people like you that I liked working with, and to just see how you're doing. So how are things going? Have you made any improvements to the house or any changes? You know what? Here's something else I've been offering my clients is a free updated market analysis, which I believe every homeowner should do once a year. Just like you would check your retirement portfolio, stock portfolio, or something, you always want to know where do you stand. And it's really a good idea to do it on an annual basis. So what I'd be happy to do is come over and give you an updated market analysis, share with you some of what the local properties have been selling for so you get an idea how much your house is worth. And so that's what I would do there, Shalonda. George Rosario, one of our power agents, he was on the interview a few months ago. Darryl, the obstacles are going to come. The way we deal with them is what separates the winners from the losers. If you know our why, we will find the how. Very good, George. I love it. George is going to be one of our panelists at the Inventory Intensive on Long Island. Those of you that are in the tri-state area, we're raising the price on Wednesday. Go to listingworkshop.com to grab your seat. Robert, Darryl, you purchased the CDs. I'm starting an inventory campaign now with RedX. What order do you suggest I listen to the CDs? So Robert purchased our complete audio set, and he's asking which CD he should listen to first. Robert, what I would do is listen to the listing conversation CDs first, and the reason why is because that'll get you prepped and ready to go on listing appointments. Now, let me make this a teaching moment. Gang, if you're not feel good about your listing appointment, it's going to be hard for you to prospect because you're almost like, I don't want to get an appointment because if I get the appointment, what am I going to say? So it's really part of prospecting is you having a passionate about wanting to communicate with people how you can help them. Okay, so I'm going to do it like let me use me as an example. So let's say I've got this great new seminar for companies to bring me in for. Or let's say I don't. Let's say I'm just calling clients to just get speaking gigs. That's going to be hard for me to make the call. I'm not going to be passionate about it. But if I have something that I'm really passionate about, some kind of message that I want to get out to the agents, Like, for example, this conference that I'm doing on Long Island, January 26th, it's called the Inventory Intensive, right? So I'm really passionate about that. You know, I'll make calls to people and say, you've got to come to this. It's awesome. It's going to help agents lay the foundation, build their inventory. So when you're passionate about a message, it helps you get past the fear of, I don't want to make the calls. I don't fear. I'm afraid that I'm good on it. Cheryl, by the way, just texted me. She said, where is the listing workshop? Cheryl, go to the website. You'll see the information. It's listingworkshop.com, and just go to that website, and then you'll be able to see it. So, okay, let's go on with my slides. So what's your next level, gang? What are you committed to this year in 2018? Oliver Wendell Holmes said, once the mind of man is expanded, it never goes back to its original form. So when you think about next level, what does your life look like this year? What's, let me see. I want to jump the slides. Hang on. I'm going to show you something here. Give me a second. This is, hang on, here I am. I walked away from the screen. This is, I don't want you to see what my goals are, but this is a monthly sheet that I hang up now. I'm really passionate about this concept, is every month having 5 milestones, things that I'm really passionate about accomplishing in the next 30 days. And I have it hung up in my office. This is just for January. Then in February, I'll have a new list. So when we are focused on reinventing ourselves, getting to our next level, it gives us the passion and enthusiasm that a lot of us are looking for. Now, something else that I gave you guys this month is an easy business plan that breaks down financially what you need to accomplish as far as listings and sales. If you look at the screenshot, if you go to thepowerprogram.com/blog, you'll be able to, you'll see the business plan if you didn't download it, and two, I did a 10-minute training video on this one sheet. So that's on the blog for you. All right, here's a picture of what I just tried to show you. This is a blank monthly goal sheet that I'm really passionate about. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what it might look like. You might put on there, open up a retirement account, speak to 15 FSBOs or expireds each week, move my current sales that are on the books to closing, lose 10 pounds, obtain 3 listings. So I think when we have monthly goals, we're more motivated to do it because it's easier to digest. It's not too huge. You know, the problem with a year goal is sometimes it can seem overwhelming. So I really like monthly goals. If you improve 10% a month over the course of 12 months, it's 120% in a year. Make sure you're also balancing your time with your family. You know, one of the things I had this student send this to me. This was their kids, and the kids actually had their own goals. And so the parents had all the children set up their year goals. I think this is a fun activity. It teaches our children the importance of goal setting. You'll notice one of the students, and those of you looking at the screen, I think her name's Aria. It's the second one from the left. Her number one thing is to smile more. So that made my heart warm. And there's just really cute ones on here. But let's move on so we can get through the material. Another thing you may want to do this year is have a family fun list. I'll be honest, I've let this fall. I need to bring this back into my life. The idea, and I wrote about this in my Smile book, is that usually when we feel there's some stress with our family, the 2 activities we always jump to is let's go to the movies or go to dinner. And what this does, the idea is this, is you create, I hear a child in the background, isn't that cute? What you do is you create a family to-do list of things that you can do as a family that isn't expensive, last-minute things, spontaneous things, and, well, not spontaneous, it's on a list, but my point is it doesn't need a lot of planning. The idea in the game is when you accomplish one of the items on the to-do list, you highlight it off and you don't repeat that item. So the next time you're going to create a family memory, do a family activity, you go to the list, and you've got to now do something that you didn't do before. There's a couple of great things about this. Number one is it keeps your family and balance up front for you. Hang this on your refrigerator. Number two is it's creating different moments with your family instead of the same old, let's go to dinner or let's go to the movies. That's the family fun list. This is just an example on the site. I really love that. concept, do that My Family. Although, again, I've got to get back to it. It's been a while since we did. Get organized. So those of you that are current power agents that are, when you log in, if you go to thepowerprogram.com/systems and checklists, you'll see the dot board. Not the dot board, sorry, the listing inventory chart. You've heard me talk about building inventory, that when your inventory goes down, so does your cash flow. And the concept of the listing inventory is to help you keep building your shoe store, building your inventory, growing it. So if you haven't done this in 2017 or you're a new power agent, I highly recommend you download this and hang this up in your office, start tracking your inventory. And once again, real quick, the inventory chart is to, at any time, for you to see how many current active listings you have. And what's really interesting about this chart, whatever this chart's doing, that's what your cash flow is doing. So it's very powerful to help you stay focused. The dot board also, you can download at the same place, Systems and Checklists. And the dot board, unlike the inventory, where it's keeping track of your current inventory, this acknowledges you for doing the things that you need to do. So let's say you get a few listings in January, you get a listing sold, a buyer buys something from you. So that's the concept of the dot board. As you accomplish it, you give yourself credit. The inventory chart is tracking current listings that you have in your inventory month to month. Now, I've had power agents tell me that they've doubled their production because of the dot board, because it takes the stress out of making money, buying and selling. It says, hey, I just need to get a dot, you know. It puts the game back into real estate. So you're not stressing about, oh, I got a prospect, I got to show No, just get a dot. If you just be committed to the dot, you'll do the right activities to get the dot. Once again, where you see all this stuff, gang, is if you go to Classroom and you go to Systems and Checklists, that's where that stuff is. This is a software, I think somebody just asked me something here. Hang on, how much, did I just miss something? Okay, I thought I just saw a message from somebody. I don't know what happened. Darryl, you need it. Oh, here it is. George, you need a big believer in reading Keep the Maestro. Okay. By the way, already, okay, thanks, George. George has given me helpful coaching tips here. All right, Nosby. Nosby is a software that I highly recommend for you to keep track of your to-dos. I love this. It's free, and if you have more projects or something, then it's inexpensive, maybe $10 a month. But Nosby works when you're offline, when you're online, it syncs. There's an app. You can do it on your computer. What it does, I'm going to tell you the real power of this, and this is a concept of time management, okay? So if it's not Nosby, do something else. If you were to break your life into categories, right? So you've got building inventory, working, putting buyers together, office, like getting organized, technology, self-promotion, personal. Like if you took your life and broke it up into categories, and then you just wrote in each category all the stuff you got to do, all the tasks, and you're always adding, you're always deleting. Okay. Then you star one or two of the most important activities in each one of those categories. So if you came up with 6 categories in your life, and each one of those has 2 priorities that you have to do, 6 times 2 is 12. There is a button, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, it says priority. There's a sample of it, it says priority. It takes all of the most important tasks from each one of those categories and creates a to-do list for you. What I love about this is that at any time you're touching and working on all of your projects because you're just focusing on those 1 or 2 priority tasks. People ask me, Darryl, how do you get done so much? It's because I do something like this. Darryl, what CRM website do you recommend? We're researching a couple, Robert, but we've always recommended Top Producer. So that's my suggestion for right now. But I want you to pay attention on the Facebook group, because whenever I see a good company, especially technology, I post it in the Facebook group. And I know I just scheduled to post something that should be coming out soon. So pay attention. Right now, Top Producer, check it out. Do you recommend sending out just listed, just sold postcards? And let's see, in my office, I think just sent me something. Reminder is great. Minder is great. On phone for to-dos, has a way to nag you to get things done. You can set the intensity of their mind. So okay, somebody's telling me re.minder is also great for a to-do thing. re.minder. All right, never heard of it. What about Wise Agent? I'm not familiar, Rose, with Wise Agent. I know they've been around for a while. They seem to be doing really good as far as production is, as far as their company is concerned. But Top Producer, I always lean to that because they've been around the longest. They have the biggest money, which means they make the best improvements. So I will have to, I'll look at it more and tell you what I think, okay? Going back to Grace's question, do you recommend sending out just listed, just sold postcards? Grace, I know I mentioned something about postcards earlier because it was so unique, this company, what they do. That company, again, that postcard company is in this month's magazine. But other than that, I prefer letters versus postcards. We actually did a study in my office about this. And here's what we discovered. And I say when we did a study, we actually spent thousands of dollars sending out postcards, thousands sending out letters, promoting our events. And here's what we learned. Is that a postcard, it's easier to send out, it's cheaper to send out, but it's also easier for people to just throw it away. They look at it, it's almost like a Frisbee. We found people just like, want to chuck it. Now, with a letter, what happens, it does cost more money, it does take more time, but what happens is when people open it up and they take out the letter and they unfold it, they actually made an investment in time. And they'll pay attention. Any of you that have gotten junk mail, you probably have noticed that you've taken junk mail and you open it up. You don't throw it away right away. You put it to the side and say, all right, let me look at the rest of my mail. I'll come back to that. So we find that people are more engaged with letters versus postcards, okay? Here's another to-do thing that we recommend, and that is, it's called GLIP, if you see it at the top left, G-L-I-P. Now, GLIP is another task management software where it's different from Nosby. Nosby I use in my personal life. GLIP I use for my team. So all the employees and subcontractors, this is how we manage all of the tasks, all the activities. So, because they can talk to each other, they can share files, it stores files. So if you have a team of people, I suggest GLIP. Create positive habits this year. You've got to make sure that the top 20% activities, let me see how we're doing on time, is prospecting. Let me just let me skip this slide. It's not that important. It's more motivational. There's so many different ways for us to generate leads. Make sure that before you start doing a bunch of mailings and stuff like that, you have a good system for something that you don't have to try and do everything. If you spread yourself thin, you're not going to be effective. There's only 168 hours in a week, right? So you don't want to, try and do 10 hours here, 10 hours there. You have nothing left for your life. You all know that my preference is FSBOs and expireds, and I heard somebody, who was it that said, was it Robert or somebody who's, Robert, he's using the RedX, which is really great. Those of you that are not using RedX, I highly recommend that you do that. There's a huge discount that you guys get. You don't pay the monthly fee that everybody else pays. You don't pay the setup fee. You get 30 days free. So that's the website. Those of you that have not signed up for RedX, you need to do that now, this year. Start the year strong. DarrylSpecial.com, type in SMILE, all caps, and you'll be able to get the 30 days free and not pay the $150 setup. Now let me just jump to something else. Those of you that are going to be in the tri-state area, I'm going to be calling FSBOs live. This is last year's picture. This year we should have 350 people like last year. I think we're already up to 300. So anyway, look, those of you power agents, if you go to Classroom and click on Building Listing Inventory, the FSBO dialog for calling FSBOs is right there. It's in Building Listing Inventory on the Classroom page of the Power Program. Once again, you got to be signed in. That's the beautiful dialogue. All right, let me just show you a couple other things. These are other mailings, the flyers. There's just too much to show you guys, but I told you that's on Facebook, and I told you about Fiverr. Okay, that's pretty much it that I've got. Does anybody have any last-minute questions before we end the call? Hit *6 on your keypad to take you off the call. If anybody has any questions. No? Okay. So listen, gang, a couple of things before I let you go. I really want you to focus on building listing inventory. Make sure you have your thanks, Grace. She said this was great. Thank you. Gang, don't be so overwhelmed, you know. And remember what I said about the New Year's Eve resolution? Let go, let go, let go, let go. You know, counting down, not New Year's resolution, the New Year's countdown. You need to let go. Some of you feel weighted, you feel heavy because you keep thinking about yesterday and mistakes, and I should have done this, I should have done that. And if you keep saying, I should have done this, should have done that, all you're doing is shooting all over the place. And it drains you, right? So let go, move forward. And here's the last thing. Don't forget that we don't just help people buy and sell real estate. We help them get to their next level. The money you make is a gauge as to how many lives you've changed. So go out there, change more lives, and the money will just follow. So God bless you guys. Happy New Year. I look forward to talking to you on the next call. Thanks for being patient with the glitches that we had. And until our next call, don't forget to keep smiling, all right? All right, let me see. I'm going to take everybody off hold, all right? Here, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Happy New Year.